thank you that you bless and anoint We the County, the organization, as well as Restore Freedom. We thank you for wisdom. We pray that you continue to pour into us everything that we need to do to stand up and unite to restore the freedoms that we're losing. And we know that this country was founded on Christian principles, and we know that if we stand together, we can bring it back. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So, right now, I would like to introduce the leader of the Huron County chapter of We the County, and he's going to lead us in a pledge and maybe say a few words. L.J. Wade.
L.J. Wade.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you please stand up and face the flag? Take your hats off and put your hand over your heart. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice to see everybody here tonight, one day before New Year's Eve. I want to give a special props and shout out to Deb Canarian. She single-handedly today had to fight the lawyers and our county commissioners at a meeting when they switched the order of the meeting, and most of the people that were going to speak up didn't have a chance.
But you
So
did a
Deb,
great
can
job.
you please stand up? She's
Good job, Deb.
And my next person I want to introduce, he is the founder of We the County, and he's also a pastor, and he's also a great gentleman. And I'd like to introduce everybody to Mike Smith.
All right.
All right, well, thanks for coming out. I know this is kind of a last-minute thing with letting everybody know what's going on, and then we have the holiday tomorrow, and it was going to be at 7 o'clock, then we had to move it to 6 o'clock, so that made it difficult for people to come. But thank you for coming out. We all have this desire in our heart to stand up for freedom, to stand up, because one of the reasons I started this is because I love my kids, and I love my grandkids, and I see the country headed into a Marxist socialism. And I thought, no way. I just can't sit back and do nothing. I got to do something. And I kept waiting for someone to stand up and do something, and I'll come along their side, because I'm a really good helper. I thought, I'll help somebody do it. But nobody stood up. Nothing was happening. And so I thought, okay, I just prayed about it, and I thought, oh, okay, let's do this. Let's see what happens. And we just launched 3 months ago, and we're already in over 50 counties. And something I didn't want to happen quite yet, but we're in 8 other states. I had a radio station from California contact me, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to talk to you. I don't want California involved in this yet. We don't have no, I don't want to deal with them yet. So no, just Michigan. We're going to focus on Michigan. So thank you for getting the word out. It's so important that we build up a good base of people. There's so much that we want to do with this. We want to not only push back against our governor and these aggressive controls that are put upon us that we feel are unconstitutional and not really the best interest of our well-being. Also, our school systems with how our parents have been pushed out of being involved in the education of their students and their children. That's just terrible. That's one of the things we want to get involved in again, is the right for the parents to be involved in the education of their children. Our heart is the original intent of the Constitution, which is bringing the authority to govern back to the local community. The local community is supposed to be the one in charge of the governance of their area. And it's bringing things back to that local community. That's so important. So that's what we're trying to do. That's part of the big effort. Thanks for being a part. We got brochures back there and cards. And bring a couple extra to give away. Take as many of the little cards that you want to bring people to our website. We're just developing the website. It's really nice now. There's a lot that we're going to do with it. So that's what We the County's about. But I'm even more excited because we need to partner with people, because we can't do this on our own. But there are millions of people in this state that have the same heart that we have. We just got to let them know that we're there, bring them together. There's organizations that we want to partner with. And one of those organizations that we've been able to match up with is Restore Freedom with Katherine Henry. they have an amazing organization that they were here before us, and she's an attorney, and her heart is for the Constitution and is for freedom. She's kind of done like the same thing, like somebody's got to lead the way and help fight against what's happening, against these aggressive, abusive, against our Constitution. She had a lucrative law firm where she just put it kind of on hold and stood up and said, I'm going to do this. Thank you to your family. I know that's a lot on your husband and your kids and everything to put them in this position, because when you stand up and take a stance, people don't like that. There are people that will push back against you, threaten you. You've probably had death threats, all this, but we got to stand up for what's right. And she made that choice. So God bless you. God bless your family, your children. I know that this is a burden, but yet it's a burning desire in your heart to do the right thing because you love your kids. And one day, grandkids. I know you don't have them yet, but wait till you get to that. That's what you know. And so, check out her. They got her cards and materials and things back there. Thank you, everybody who got the email and brought in some supplies. One of the things that's near and dear to her heart is to help the homeless. She has other projects like that going on. And so, everybody that brought in, supplies, deodorant, chapstick, all those different things, thank you. God bless you for bringing all those things in. That's important for her to be able to meet those needs of the people. So I appreciate that. And also on her website, there's so much good information. There's articles about our Constitution. There's articles, too, from good health officials about masks and why they're really hurting us instead of helping us. So you can go on there. You can check out that information. And also remember, too, she doesn't get paid for this. It's volunteer. So, there's a little donate on her website. Please bless her and her family because they're dependent on that now. And anything you can give to help them would really be great. But we're just honored to have her here. We want to give her as much time as possible. We got some questions that we sent her ahead of time so she can be ready for some of these things. But she's working at that state level to do what she can. And she also wants to help us then develop a game plan at the local level. So how can we work together to make things happen so we can grab our freedom, hold on to it, and give hope? And we got to change this narrative of doom and gloom that's over our state now and bring one back to hope. We got to have hope and know that there's a better tomorrow. I believe the best is yet to come. And I think a lot of you believe that with me. I don't care how crazy it looks out there. We control the narrative. And my heart is to believe the best is yet to come. But we got to stand up and let our voice be heard. And that's exactly what we're doing. So without further ado, I want to introduce you, Katherine Henry, Restore Freedom.
Hello. Oh, you guys stood for me. Thank you. I thought you were like, oh, this is the girl that talks way too much. We're going to get out of here while we can. You can still get out of here if you want to. It's okay. I always have so much to say. I wanted to bring up some of my notes so I can... Oh, I might have grabbed the wrong notebook. I got 17 of these in the car. Wanted to be able to touch on a few points about things we have going on. But I actually didn't get the email until, was it 45 minutes ago or so? So I read the questions. Actually, you said there was another one, and it never did come through yet. But it would be on the phone that she's holding. So at any rate, you might have to tell me what the questions are. But I think what I'd like to do is briefly, I should stop using the word briefly. I don't do anything briefly. I take a break briefly, I guess. I'm going to go over some key things that I think are hot topics or questions I get or things of that nature, and the rest of the time just answer questions, whatever questions you guys have. One of the things that I am asked, well, first of all, let me back up and say, although my daughter told me today, gosh, what is it? Emma, what did you call me today on the way here? Did you say I'm the Restore Freedom Superwoman? Wonder Woman. Oh, okay. So although to some, at least one, I am the Restore Freedom Wonder Woman, I do need you guys to know that I'm just an American, just like you. I was born way up in WP, where we eat pasty and play pinochle. And then when my parents got divorced, I moved to Florida with my mom. So I actually grew up spending school years in Orlando, Florida, cooking. And there's no beach right in Orlando. It's terrible. But then spent my summers in the UP, and sometimes there was still snow on the ground when I got back up there. But I'm just an average person. I've never had anything handed to me. I got pregnant at 19, made some not great life choices, as many of us can relate to. And so became a mom at that early age, and yet continued to finish college on my own and law school, and opened my own law firm as a single mom by the time I was 23 years old, being licensed in 4 jurisdictions. It's not stuff that was handed to me, it's stuff that I was willing to work hard for. It's that same work ethic that's going to take for us to get out of the mess we're in right now. And it can't be just me. I might be super Restore Freedom, Wonder Woman, something like that to a 6-year-old, but I am only one person, and I really don't have any magical powers. I am a homeschooling mom. I'm a mom of 4. Our oldest is 19, and our youngest is gonna sit down though, because you're distracting your mom. Yeah, go ahead and sit down, Emma. Her birthday is in a couple weeks, and she will be 7. So we have 4, and 3 of them are teenagers, so when whoever it was said something about grandkids, I was like, it's possible, but it better not be happening anytime soon. Hopefully they learn from my mistakes. But at any rate, I don't have a Staples Easy button. If you came here tonight, I'm not sure, honestly, I have no idea what you were told to get you here. I don't know what you guys all know about me, if you've ever even heard of me, or really what the draw is for you, other than I'm assuming you like our country. Beyond that, I really don't know what we have in common specifically. But I don't have a Staples Easy button. I don't have the Cliff Notes version of all the federal statutes or state statutes that would help you win any given case or situation. What I do have is a passion to not only restore freedom in our country, but to help each of you do that. It's not so much that I'm fighting it on a state level. It's that I'm one person who has literally not taken one single day off since the first week of April. Not one. Our anniversary was last week, and did we do anything fun? Do you remember? Yeah, you know I'm talking to you. I know we got groceries at Sam's Club because they let me in without wearing a mask. Yeah. I will be canceling my Costco membership, but of course at the very end, right before the renewal, so that I can, if I have to order anything online from them, I still can, and then I can get my full membership refunded to me at the very end, since they won't let me in.
That's a Democrat, so you
yeah, both of our birthdays are in July. I didn't take our birthdays off. Any of you who might have been following the work that I've been doing might know that my birthday is July 3rd, and that was the day that I decided to go public to save the Door 4th of July parade that was supposed to happen the next day. And I think it was the Attorney General had sent a threatening letter to the Business Association in Door to shut them down. And so they were like, oh, yikes, I guess we can't do this. And I heard about it, and we were just gonna walk in the parade, and I was like, I'm gonna let you cancel the 4th of July parade? No. So lucky enough, I have friends in some radio positions and other things that help me get the word out. And from what I was told, I had never been to the Door parade before, but from what I was told, it was by far the most well-attended 4th of July festivities they had ever had in that city. So I'm okay with not taking a day off for the most part. Every now and then I'm a little exhausted, I won't lie. And I've had some people comment about how tired I look on some YouTube videos. That makes me feel real special. But, I'm just a homeschooling mom who's done terrible at homeschooling this year because most of the time I'm typing legal stuff or answering questions or answering, phone calls or things of that nature. I'm a wife who really doesn't, have we had a date night in 2020? Do you know?
Everything's closed.
Before it was closed. Let's be honest. Valentine's happened before things were closed. Did we go anywhere? No, I don't even like shopping. And I'm not trying to blame him, although it really is his fault too. No. Just all the work that we have to do. But I really don't have any magical superpowers. I am someone just like you, who loves her country and who's willing to put in the hard work and the long hours to restore our freedom. So hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit of understanding. In all honesty, I don't know that I'd say I had a lucrative law firm at all. I have a law firm. In fact, in July, I think it was, when we were doing the Restore Freedom Constitutional Amendment petition, and we had set ourselves a lofty goal to turn in the just shy of 500,000 signatures within like a 37-day window. When we didn't make that first lofty goal, I knew that I was going to be in this for the long haul. And so I actually changed my law firm name to Restore Freedom with Katherine, because I knew doing my mediations and all the other stuff I had been doing was not going to be the thing I was going to be focusing on from here on out. So, but anyway, with all that being said, what it's going to take is not going to be one magical lawsuit. So many people call me, text, email, ask questions on comments of my YouTube or Facebook Live videos, and well, what about this lawsuit, or what about this new thing? There's a new thing. People are, several people that don't know each other have all called me in the last 2 weeks about, I'll just say a legal theory to try to put forth in a federal lawsuit against the governor and the attorney general and MDHHS, and they, are convinced it's going to be the thing that fixes everything. And it's, in my opinion, it's not. Because they're targeting more of, the idea that our government is lying to us about COVID stats and different things, which we know they are, right? But what that particular case is going to do is take away the focus from the pure, simple, straightforward argument that the Constitution is the governing document of everything that our government gets to do here, period.
Amen.
If it's not in the Constitution, they don't get to do it. You might have to turn me on silent. Okay, hold on a second. I didn't want to be ringing as we were discussing things. I have so many ideas. I'm trying to make this all make sense to you guys. I have like 12 trains of thought all trying to leave the station at the same time. Hopefully they won't collide in something that doesn't make sense. You'll think I was drinking on the way here, because I really wasn't. Like I said, there's not one magical thing. That's the main point I was trying to make. It's going to be systematic. It has to be methodical. It has to be long-term and short-term. It has to be teamwork. It has to be at the local level, the city level, township level. It has to be at school board meetings. It has to be at the county level and at the state level. It has to be at the federal level. It has to be everywhere. And if you're breathing, you have a job to do in this fight. I can't tell you how many people have said to me, I've never done anything in politics. And I hadn't really done much either before a few years ago when I ran for state rep, and I thought, why is God calling me to be state rep? We knew he was. But the first time the message came, we both laughed ourselves silly, like physically laughed. Why would God want me to have a 2-year job, run for state rep? I'm a lawyer, who would do that? But I did run, And we knew that I was supposed to run, and I didn't win. And so when it all came said and done, we put $42,000 of our own money, and that's about what we make in a year. Somehow we still paid our mortgage and our car payments, and our kids didn't starve. When you're following God's will for you, though, it kind of works out, doesn't it? So, but we thought, why on earth would God have me run for state rep, spend all of our money, and not win? What is in that? Well, fast forward, April 30th, 2020, just 36 hours prior, I had gotten connected with some people now known as the American Patriot Council, and they were putting on the first in-person rally at the state capitol about this. And they actually wanted a friend of mine, Dr. Martin Dubrovik, to speak on the medical side of things. Great guy, expert immunologist and epidemiologist. And he was seeing patients the day they were doing their rally. So he said, you know, I can't go, but could you have Katherine Henry go? So they called me, and there I was 36 hours before this thing, and I had to write a speech for me and essentially a speech for him, the things that he would have told people. Not my strong suit. Quite honestly, this isn't even very comfortable for me to be up here, hence the rambling and incoherent sentences at times. And no one laughs when I attempt humor. Just play along. That's great, yeah. My dad's Polish humor, and I'm an attorney. I mean, I'm really screwed in the humor department here. So, anyway though, I ended up finishing my speech about 5 a.m. and went to bed for 2 hours, got up, showered, met the strangers I'd been talking to for the last 36 hours, and we drove over to the Capitol. I hadn't had a time yet to talk about my, go through my speech, see if it's too long or too short, if it makes sense. And the person whom I had never even laid eyes on until that day, and my husband and I are carpooling with him, said, oh my gosh, that was amazing. You have to go towards the beginning. And I said, well, I don't even know when they're planning on having me speak. And he said, I think later on, they need to move you up. And they did. And what was supposed to start as a 5-minute speech turned into, well, now anybody who knows me knows it's going to be longer than that, but turned into a 22 or 23-minute speech where no one was interrupting. And when I looked out at the crowd of the thousands of people that were there, they were all paying attention. That's amazing, because I've never been the kind of leader in those situations where people were listening to me. So, and I was so nervous right beforehand, I almost threw up and had somebody that I recognized walked up to him and said, can you pray for me right now? Ironically enough, one of the two people that I walked up and asked, they were both standing next to each other. One of them had supported me when I ran for state rep a few years back, and the other one was vehemently against me back then. And it didn't matter. In that moment, I was like, woman, I need you to pray for me. And she did. So needless to say, I gave that speech, found myself not that long after in the inside the Capitol when they wouldn't let us in, not because of the governor, but because of our Republican, Lee Chatfield, our Speaker of the House, in direct violation of our state constitution, Article 4, Section 20, by the way. And I didn't know why I was called to be there in the front, but I knew I was there to do something. And then I started